Thirsty and needy, weakened and ailing. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Power of Sound Mind series. My name is Tolu Enaibe, and I am really pleased to join you again to talk about how we can walk in power, love, and sound mind in the year 2022. As you can see, I'm not wearing my Power of Sound Mind t-shirt this time around. I'm wearing a different t-shirt because this is the month of March and I'm celebrating International Women's Day today. And I'm also celebrating the release of my latest single, which is titled I Can Do It All. So I will encourage you to please check it out at the end of this video. It's a really inspiring song and it has a really strong and powerful message to encourage you through the year and through life, knowing that you can draw the strength you need from God and you can do it all with that strength. So moving on to our topic for this month, it's the month of March. We're marching on in power, in love, and in a sound mind. And I am so excited about this month's message. I really have to tell you that since starting this series, I've been on a journey. I've been on a journey of just re-knowing who I am in Christ, and just walking in that depth of knowledge as I prepare for these videos, as I study the Word, and even through the month after I've done the video. These are calendars. So I have these calendars on my wall, on my desk table at work. And so they're always there right in front of me, front and center, reminding me, I am chosen. I am the salt of the earth. And in this month, I am wonderfully created. And it just does something for my psyche and for my spirit as I wake up in the morning. And that's the first thing I see. And while I'm at work, I see it. And it just keeps reminding me of who I am and the power that I have in Christ. And it honestly has been awesome. The last 2 months have been awesome. I've been walking in power. I've been walking in the knowledge of God and of who I am, and knowing that I indeed can do all things because of who I am in Christ. And you don't need to get the calendars. You have this on your screen right now. You can take a screenshot, you can print it off, you can put it on your wall, put it where you'll see it every time so that it reminds you, or you can just handwrite it in big letters, I am wonderfully created, and put it on your wall. And just see how that changes your perspective every morning when you wake up, and that's the first thing that you see. It is really, really awesome. So it's been an amazing experience for me, and I hope that for you it has been as well. This month, this particular lesson, just dwelling on it even before I did this video, it was just like, wow, my mind was just blown. We say it, I am fearfully and wonderfully created. We just say it. But when you dig deep, and it's so interesting that as I started thinking about working on this lesson, my personal devotion with my family is based on a different book that my family and I go through every day. And it was so amazing that just as my mind was turning to preparing for this video and to start studying more on this topic, the morning devotions just sort of aligned with this topic. And as I kept reading, I was discovering more things and more and more and more and more. And it was just like, wow, the Spirit of God is one. Definitely the Spirit of God is one. And so I really, really hope that you take away something really good from this message today. It's been awesome for me. It has been awesome. And so if this is your first video, I really do encourage you to go back and watch the other videos, because what happens is they sort of build on each other and they just continue strengthening you, and they just build on each other from 1 month to the next. So I encourage you to watch the other videos if this is your first video and you haven't seen those ones yet. But anyway, on to this month's affirmation. So this month's affirmation is, I am wonderfully created. And the verse that I picked that from is on the screen. It's Psalm 139:14. But I'm going to read from verse 13 to 16 because they provide a stronger context within which we can situate our discussion this evening. So Psalm 139, verse 13 to 16, it says, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." It says that even before we were born, from the time we were a tiny speck, God knew us. God knew who we were going to be. He already wrote everything about us in his book. Before we drew our first breath, he knew us. He created us fearfully and wonderfully made. I mean, when you first think about even just the physicality of the human body, when you think about the complexity of how the human body is created, like the verse says, it is marvelous how those tiny veins are created, our nerves, the skin cells, the way our heart pumps blood, the way our liver works, our lungs, how everything just works together. The flesh, the muscles, the bones, the tendons, the cartilage, everything in its place, everything with a particular purpose, all working together and covered by this little thin layer of skin that holds everything in. It's just amazing. Just think about the complexity of the human DNA, our genetic code. Then you know that God created us with care, with intention, with deliberation. And if you don't care about something, you don't really care how it comes together. If it could just be wishy-washy if you really don't care. But when you think about the intentionality of how our body works, you have to know that God took time and there was intention and deliberation. There was care put into how we were made. Why? Because we are important. Because we are important to our Creator. And the verse says, "And that my soul knows very well." You see, there is power in knowledge. If you don't know something, if you don't know an opportunity, if you don't recognize something, then you don't know what to do with it. But when you know something, it gives you power, because with that knowledge comes the ability to do something about what you know. It changes your perspective. So when our soul knows that we are fearfully and wonderfully made, that we were not just casually created, that we are worthy, that we are important to our Creator, it changes the way you see yourself. It changes the way you see your life. Nobody can tell you that you are worthless. Nobody can tell you that you are ugly. Nobody can tell you that you are defective, because you know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are made with care. You are important. That is just when we're looking at this. And when I talk about the physicality, please do not get me wrong. I'm not talking about the attractiveness of your physical features. Maybe you're tall, or you're a certain size, or, you look a certain way. No, no. I'm just saying, just the human body, the way we are created. We are beautiful and we are wonderful. We are marvelous. And yes, that applies even if you have a physical disability or a developmental disability. It still applies. You are no less, you are just as worthy, you are enough, and you are able. You might not be able in the way other people are, but you are able in some other ways that other people might not be. We're saying that you, as a human creation of God, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are awesome. You are beautiful. Let no one tell you any different. That is a knowledge that you must have about yourself. Because when you have that knowledge, you walk in the power of that knowledge. You walk in self-love, and you will have a sound mind. Because when you know who you are, nobody can try to tell you who you are. They can't tell you who you are or who you are not. You know who you are. And there is power in that. But even beyond the physicality of the human body, when we talk about the spirituality of the creation, you see, Bible says in Genesis, when God created us, he created man, he breathed in him the breath of life. Understand something? That, in my understanding, goes beyond just the ability to breathe air. Because of all the land-based or air-based animals that God created, they all can breathe air. But only when God created man did the Bible say he breathed the breath of life into man. So God imparted part of his breath, part of his energy into us when he created us. That energy that created the universe, that created this whole earth out of nothing, God breathed it into us. That ability, because it is that power, that same power that God used to create the earth, we have it. It is in us. The ability to create something tangible out of nothing. The ability to create something tangible out of thoughts and dreams. Just the way God created the earth out of nothing. The human mind has the ability to create anything. If you look around you, everything that you see was created by a person. Just in the space that you're sitting in right now, look around you. You can count probably 100 things that were created by a human being. You have that same energy in you. 2 Peter 1:3 says that God has given us everything we need for life and godliness through the knowledge of him who has called us. Through the knowledge of God, everything we need for this life is already in us. The blueprint of our life is already in us. It's encoded in us, in the way we think, in the way we navigate life, in the choices we make. Everything is already in us. Everything we need to achieve the purpose that God has called us to serve on earth, we already have it. That's just mind-blowing. Some things will take certain time to manifest because everything has its time and season. But it is all in us. All in us from the time we are born. And so what do we do with this knowledge? Knowing that we are wonderfully created, knowing that we are important, knowing that we are created for purpose, knowing that everything that we need for life and godliness, everything we need, we already have it. What then do we do with this knowledge? How do we work this knowledge so that we achieve that purpose, we achieve that destiny, that future that God says He has for us? We need to start working it. We need to start working it. The Bible says that He speaks to us in thoughts and dreams. Those ideas that you have, those dreams that you have, that you think, oh, they're nothing. Oh, it's just a pipe dream. Oh, I was just thinking about it. It's disappeared. No. Let's pay attention to that. Pay attention to those thoughts and those dreams. Write them down. Imagine them. That idea that you have that you think is so big, it's impossible. You think about it, you think, this is not for me. Or somebody else might have done it before. Or I don't have the capacity to make this happen. Don't limit yourself. You have the same creative energy. Don't limit yourself. Imagine it. Write it down. Plan it. Even if you have no way right now of achieving it, plan it. Talk to someone. When the time is right, God will raise people who will help you to push that dream forward. Pray about it. Think about it. Dwell on it. And start working the plan. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. We are marvelous. Again, please don't let anyone tell you different. Don't let anyone tell you that life is not worth living. Don't let anyone tell you that you should give up on your dreams. Don't let anyone tell you that you are worthless, that you are not enough. And most importantly, you don't be that person telling yourself that you are worthless and you are not enough. You should be telling yourself, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am marvelous. I am made with care. I am made for purpose. I am important. I am chosen. Because that is how you walk in power. That knowledge gives you power to go out and take nations, to go out and conquer territories, to go out and achieve, to go out and do things that you never thought you would. And it's amazing when you step out. When you step out and start doing those things, it is amazing. I stepped out in 2021, and I am still stepping out in 2022 in different ways and on different levels. And I see how God is moving things in my favor. And I see how God moves me from one level to the next. Step out in the knowledge of who you are. Step out in the knowledge of the God who created you. Step out in the knowledge of the power that you have. And I pray that March will be an awesome month for you as you walk in power, love, and a sound mind. Drop a comment in the comment section. Subscribe so that you get notified when the next video drops. If you haven't watched the other videos, track back and watch the other videos. And please look out for my new song titled I Can Do It All. Let's talk. Let's share your perspective. Let's learn from one another. Let's build up one another. Thank you. And I hope to see you again next time.